Every YouTuber ever is just loud, obnoxious, like, ah! Your best YouTube impression if you're talking about fisting.
Hey fisters! Today we're gonna talk about fisting, which is sticking your hand in someone's Hello!
Welcome back to
What's a safe word?
I'm Amp.
And I'm Bolt.
And we're here to talk about
Everyone's favorite five-finger
kink that is fisting. So we're gonna get hands-on. We're gonna get our hands dirty. No.
All hands on deck!
Whose deck and why are we putting our hands on him? In him? Around him?
No, in him. This is fisty.
Let's give him a round of applause.
Well, actually it'd be more like this.
We'll get to that.
Today we wanted to give you the upper hand, but we're not covering everything. This is just the basics, the 101 for fisting.
You would know a thing about being basic. Anyway, what is fisting? Well, firstly, fisting is also known as fist, brachiovaginal, or handballing, because as a gay person, I love sports.
Go sports!
Sports teams! Go!
Handball! Fisting isn't just a gay activity. You can fist in butts and you can fist in vaginas.
You're really fingernailing it on that one, which you have to be careful about. If you're not wearing nails, you're probably fine to fist.
Good.
But we're getting offhand. Where did fisting actually originate?
Did you know fisting originates back thousands of years?
No! But did you also know that the government actually tried to mandate and regulate fisting porn? I know, right? They're trying to put their hands in everyone else's business. They're actually trying to prosecute people for doing fisting. I mean, there are so many worse things in this world that you could actually prosecute someone.
I don't prosecute you, Linda, for watching Grey's Anatomy in your own home. How that show is still on air beats the fuck out of me.
I mean, that's the true crime. True Crime's a great show too, though. So this is a really taboo topic. Lots of people don't understand why you would want an actual hand inside of your butt or your vagina. Like, I'm not personally into fisting, contrary to my wonderful shirt, but why do you enjoy it? Because you enjoy fisting, right?
I like it. Yeah.
You like it? I think.
Love it. What I really enjoy about it is just this there's a lot of connection involved in fisting. You are sticking an appendage that has a lot of sensory organs into another person who has a lot of sensory organs in that area. So there's just a good mental connection.
But that does make sense. When you're doing general penis in whatever sort of penetrative sex, that's pretty intimate. But when you get an actual hand, you have so much more control over those appendages, how deep it can go, and you can move it around.
It's a lot of intimacy to fisting.
A lot of penetration. Please welcome to the stage.
Penetration!
Do you remember the first time you ever got fisted?
Yeah.
How did that go?
The first time I ever got fisted, it was almost horrifying. So, it was great though. Trust me.
Story, you're really setting up this story to be good.
So there was this dude who was like, hey, have you ever tried fisting? I'm like, nah, that sounds weird to me. Well, I have a big dick and small hands. Oh, very interesting.
So he was trying to make his hands seem less intimidating by making his dick seem more intimidating?
Yes, he did have a big dick.
Go on.
So, we were laying there. I can only attest it to being having my brain pushed out of my body. Just because of how intense it was. Your first time is a little crazy. He gets close to it, and once he gets in, there's this point where your knuckles get past your sphincter, and then it's it feels like a butt plug. So he gets past that point, and at that point, I am enjoying the crap out of this.
Phrasing.
I have a giant fist in my butt, and it's a very intense new feeling, and clearly he's rotating it, and so his knuckles are hitting my prostate, and I'm like, wah! It's great. That's what it felt like. It was like a screaming in my head of delight.
Okay. So while you're really hands-on with this kink, I personally, like I said, I'm not really into it. I mean, but there's lots of misconceptions. It's another drag name, misconception.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hamburger Mary's Most Holiday, bring me the stage.
So what are the misconceptions though? What are the snap judgments people usually make when they talk about that kink?
Well, they first tell me I have the loosest
Oh, honey.
on the planet.
Which is a compliment sometimes.
Thank you. So nice.
But actually, the asshole bounces back super quickly. You're not going to be having a problem going to the bathroom. It requires a lot of control to do that.
It does.
It's very impressive.
Thank you.
Okay. There's also a lot of misconceptions around like it being incredibly dangerous.
It can be if you don't know what you're doing.
Here's the lesson, here's the tea. There's no such thing as safe sex. Even if you're having vanilla penetrative penis and vagina sex, like there's no one way that you can do that without being in danger in some way. I mean, fisting requires a lot more steps and precautions.
But I think the people who know how to do those are like real safe about it.
And the people that are into that are much safer than if you were to just try and like practice it at home by yourself. Like that's actually a safer form of fisting, is to do it with someone who actually knows what they're doing. So what you're saying is you just want everyone to message you on Twitter and like set up fisting dates? By the way, don't forget to follow us on Twitter.
Boop, boop, boop.
Subtle plug. Butt plugs. You know, I had a friend once who did fisting porn for a living. It was a real hand job.
Speaking of safety, here are some safety tips and techniques.
If you're going to be doing this, like we said, there's no safe way. There are safer ways, and that's practicing with someone who knows what they're doing. They're experienced. They have a lot more hands-on experience. And also, they're just going to be a lot more anal about their vocabulary and what they're doing.
Next, you don't want any blood on your hands. No, literally, you don't want blood. It's not a terrible thing.
Because tears can happen.
A little orifice is being stretched open. They're tears, they're micro, they're like scratches. Little tiny scratches.
But that's when your body, blood, pain, if you experience either of those, that's your body's way of saying, hey, something might be wrong. You might want to stop or reevaluate. So you have to do it slowly, and you have to take your time. And most of all, you have to use lube. Please use lube.
Oh my god.
Don't just spit on it.
Why do people tell me to do that?
It's
just
hot.
Spit on it.
It's
Stick
hot.
your hand in
It's
it.
kind of hot and sexy. But you don't just spit on things to make it better.
Never spit on things to make them better.
Food, if it's not tasting right, don't spit on it. Friends, if they're pissing you off,
I guess that fixes it.
does it?
You get
Let's
rid of your
test it.
friends. A full fist isn't where you start. Marathoners don't start at the 26th mile. And you shouldn't start with the full hand.
Question. What if, I wish, anytime you had a question in like your class, question,
You had a limp
I need a,
question.
so how do you start?
Well, you want to buy small toys, ones that preferably have levels to them so you can level up your butt play.
It's like an RPG, a really prolapsed game.
When you're starting out, you actually want to do something called the silent duck, which looks a lot like a movie pose.
And the silent duck is named that because of the position and how it looks kind of like a duck. That's where you usually start. What are you doing?
Quack, quack. It's not silent.
It's where you want to start before you get to full-on fists, and you want to do it slowly and steadily. It almost looks like you're doing a nice, like, parade wave, too.
Cut your nails, because if you're not wearing nails, you're not ready for fisting.
You don't actually start out elbows deep. Like we said, you have to take your time, but it's also about headspace. So, like, where you are mentally. It's like they say, where the mind goes, the butthole will follow.
Yes, move that way. Oh, yes. Relax your body, because relaxing your body relaxes your colon and relaxes your butt.
If you ever feel like you've actually hurt something, torn something really, really bad, you should go see a doctor. Don't think, oh, well, it's probably fine. Like, that's some serious shit. We're not trying to scare you, but, like, take care of yourself. Speaking of being a doctor, I actually have a friend who is a human TARDIS because he's bigger on the inside.
It's me. And remember to be prepared, like, have the supplies ready. Set up your room like an episode of Dexter. And I don't mean like laying down plastic wrap. I know you love Michael C. Hall.
I'd like to Michael C. his hall, you know what I mean.
Ooh, have towels, have lube, have fingernail clippers, have gloves for safety.
Overwhelmed. You can serve a cocktail and check a hernia all at the same time.
Make sure that you're eating well the day before leading up to this.
If you really want to know the details, vegetables take about 12 to 16 hours to pass through you, and then meat takes about 24.
So you want to make sure that you're eating light, but still eating healthy. You need that energy to have the sex and have a good time. Speaking of food, there's mine. Say hello.
If you want to be real slick, use lube. Your body's like a machine. It needs oil to run well or it breaks down. For fisting, we recommend J-Lube, which is like this water-based powder lube, and you just mix it yourself in a blender. And J-Lube is something you can control the consistency of, so if you want it thicker, you can make it thicker. If you want it thinner, you just add more water, and it's wonderful.
Because we love skinny legends.
Howdy.
While a lot of people joke about using Crisco for fisting, it's not cute for anal penetration.
I talked discharge, Huddy, 2 years ago, Huddy.
It actually traps bacteria, and it does not play well with your gloves. Sorry. No, keep the glove on, don't use Crisco. Only got the wrong message there. We're not professional doctors, but we're professional perverts, so take our advice.
Yeah. Take heed, young one. Meditate on this.
What's wrong with your hand? Fisting accident! Oh God!
There are no accidents in fisting.
His fingers are gone!
More glove, more love.
So in closing, fisting is a huge topic, and it's hard, pun intended, to wrap your head around it all in like one episode. So we hope we weren't too heavy-handed, but that we were light enough that you could, if you're interested in this, get your hands a little dirty. But in a clean sort of way.
If you're curious to learn more, you can always follow us on social media.
Social media.
If you're curious to know more, you can always follow us on social media. We'll post links to resources, and you can ask us all those questions.
And if you like this episode, punch that like button. Just punch all the things.
Oh my God.
And we'll see you guys next time on What's a Safe Word. Bye! What do you call a polyamorous family that's into fisting? Fister wives.
No.
Sorry, I'll be hands off.
I've been gone for this.
You're welcome.